What's up and welcome back. Today we're talking about how Rockstar could be pushing Red Dead Online into a pay-to-win system. I'm Bandit Barney, bringing you everything you need to know about Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. And in order to give you kind of the full scope here and see how this is something that we could see Rockstar doing and why this is, something that they may have even started pushing on us right now, we need to go back to February into Take-Two's shareholder call, in which it was something that like public companies have shareholders, and the shareholders have a right, and often at the beginning of quarters will get in communication with higher ups at the company to see how things are going, where they're going, and what they're going to do, so that those shareholders know if they're making a good investment or not. When Take-Two had this call, after the call, their stock dropped, actually quite significantly. And in fact, Take-Two stock has been dropping since, let's see, a week after the release of Red Dead 2. So Red Dead 2 released, and in anticipation of its release, their stock was doing phenomenal. It was at hovering around $130 a share. A week after, or 10 days after they released Red Dead 2, their stock hit a 125 and then dipped all the way down to $106. So that's kind of understandable, because you release an IP, and once the IP is released, awesome, it did really well for the company, but we're looking forward to the future. What's the next big thing? And for Take-Two, they have multiple sources of income. They're not just Rockstar. This isn't just Rockstar. Take-Two has like 2K Games and things like that. But in this call, they acknowledge that Rockstar, they expect to bring in 60% of their income. So when we talk about Take-Two stock, we're talking relatively, a good size of that is how well Rockstar is doing. And then in February 5th, they had their shareholder call, and right after their shareholder call, their stock went from $107 all the way down to $92, and it's been going down. It's hovering around $88 right now, which is a big drop from a few months ago when it was at $130. And the reason for this drop is shareholders not trusting or knowing exactly how well Red Dead Online is going to be able to monetize. If it monetizes really well, it brings in money for the company, and that's great for the stock. Shareholders are happy, they're making a good investment, that's great. If it's not monetizing well, or they have doubts about it being able to monetize well, then they don't know if they want to invest, and that's when stock starts to dip. So now that we've got you covered on, the backstory of what's going on here, I want to dive in and talk about how this means that Red Dead Online could be going to a pay-to-win platform. And the reason I say this is because we know that Rockstar in the past with GTA Online has really ridden the line between for pay-to-win. They've really ridden a line at times, getting really close to like, it's absurd how much this costs in game, and the only way for me to realistically get it is to do nothing except for play this game all day, or to spend some of my real life money and buy a shark card in order to get this. So we know that Rockstar has ridden this line really close of pay to win. So far in Red Dead Online, in my opinion, it hasn't been the case. I don't feel like Red Dead Online has been pay to win. I just feel like it's been pretty balanced so far. Yes, it has been grindy in the past, especially in the first week when you were grinding to earn cash, and then they did a huge economy fix, got things a little bit more even keeled, and now a lot of the things that players want to buy, if they play consistently, they can buy it with cash. But recently, in this newest update, we've seen a transition. We've seen a transition where hunting got a nerf. Okay, and how big that nerf was to you, people have different opinions. I think we're looking at, on average with most things, like a 20% nerf, 15% nerf to their value. And then when it comes to like birds and certain other items, we're looking at a very significant nerf to how good those things are. So the income, the way you can earn money in game, got a nerf. And they've then gone in and added a ton of things that you can purchase in game. A ton of things, which is good. It's good that we got new purchasable things in game. But there was one thing that's very different about these new items that we got, and that's their cost. Their cost is much larger, and at times, like, we're looking at like 4 times the cost of items in that category previously. So like a hat that was going for 15, 20 bucks, now these new hats are going for like 100, 150 bucks. So we're looking at a very massive cost increase on different items that we can get, and a nerf to how quickly we can make our money. Now, I still wouldn't go so far as to say that this in and of itself is pay to win, but I think if we look in between the lines here, what we can find is that it's moving in the direction of, like it did in GTA, really expensive items that unless you're playing all day, you need to spend your actual real life money to get these things. And I think we just see it creeping up a little bit in not just the cost changes in these new items that are coming and the nerf to the main source of earning money in game, but if we look at daily challenges themselves. So daily challenges is a really awesome new thing, and they're actually very rewarding. For each one you complete, you get 10 gold nuggets, and you get a lot of experience for completing all of them, as well as more gold nuggets. So it's actually a really cool way of earning money in and of itself. But we do see at times that there's daily challenges that you need to use this weapon, and maybe you haven't bought that weapon yet. So if you want to complete these challenges, the daily challenges are pushing you to go purchase more items, to go spend more money on the game. Now, not necessarily your real life money, but in-game dollars, which at times for some people is going to be real life money. They're going to buy the gold bars to get that item so they can complete that challenge, whatever. So we see here a system put in place that subtly pushes you towards microtransactions. And I say subtly because, like I just said, you don't have to, but it does give you an avenue for Rockstar to push certain players into, hey, this shotgun needs to be used for a daily challenge today, but you don't have it yet. Go purchase it. And you can use in-game cash or not, but anytime the game pushes you to go purchase an item, there's an expected certain amount of people that are going to spend gold bars on that item rather than in-game dollars that they've earned through hunting or showdown modes or whatever. We see this push here as I just described, and now we need to take a look at as a business, right? Take-Two is moving on. We're just about to leave Q4, which ends at the end of this month, and we're going to be going into Q1. At that point, they're going to have another shareholder call, and they're going to talk to their shareholders and tell them why they're still a good investment and why they have a lot of value to bring forward. Knowing that 60% of Take-Two's income is coming from Rockstar, a lot of the pressure is on Rockstar to show, hey, Red Dead Online is a monetizable platform, and we can make you money through Red Dead Online and their microtransactions because things are going well. Now, I've spoken on in the past, probably a couple of videos ago, how I actually like microtransactions. When they're done well, they are awesome for games. They add players to the games, they make games more accessible, and when they're done well, they don't feel like they're pressed on you, and you have to do it. When they're done well, you enjoy spending your money on the game. Now, there's certain aspects of this that I've mentioned Rockstar doesn't get to take advantage of. And one of them being microtransactions making the game free to play, because you have to have bought Red Dead 2 to play Red Dead Online. So you can't make Red Dead Online free to play directly outright like some games like Apex Legends or Fortnite, right? You have to get the initial purchase of Red Dead 2. But to that extent, the microtransactions will work for Red Dead Online to continually be updated through the next months and years without us having to buy DLCs because of those microtransactions. So we still get a little bit there. Riding that line, though, of the game being very enjoyable and microtransactions being something that's optional that you can do if you want to do, is where we're getting into a tough spot here. Because right now, Red Dead Online is missing a lot. It's just missing a lot of the appeal that it needs in order to fit in that category of having good microtransactions. So instead, in the short term, it's going to be much easier to just add in different items like we've seen with all the emotes and the clothing, like these things where you add emotes to a game and now you got to purchase them. You know, it's a little bit feeling like, wow, this probably could have been something that you could have just added and we could all have, but you got to purchase them. So we're going to see here a little transition in something we've already seen is a lot of items coming to the game that aren't necessarily adding content, but are things that are going to promote people to purchase them. Emotes, clothing are just a few. They got released in the most recent update, and for how big this update was, a large chunk of it was these clothing and emotes and different things to purchase. On top of that, we're also going to see probably some new ways of Rockstar pushing us towards purchasing those things subtly, not putting it into your face. Hey, you gotta go do this right now, right? Not putting it into your face, because they've done that before in GTA and it didn't work out well, and it actually hurts yourself in the end because players get really turned off by that. But if you do something well, like with daily challenges, and you just make it so that, hey, maybe once or twice a week you need to go get something new that you haven't had yet in order to complete this daily challenge, that's a subtle way of pushing people to buy that item. And anytime you push people to buy an item, some people are going to use the microtransactions to get it. I'd love to know how you guys feel about this down below in the comments, because I can see this trend of Take-Two stock going down, and that being part of that, and a significant part of that being a result of Rockstar not having yet fully shown, hey, Red Dead Online can be this big monetizable giant that GTA Online was. I see that as a significant reason to why that stock has been dwindling, and coming up here soon, Take-Two is going to need to come to their shareholders and let them know, hey, don't worry, things are under control. Rockstar is delivering on these Red Dead Online microtransactions, and thus making it very monetizable for all of us in this business and you as our investors, as shareholders. Thank you guys for stopping by. Once again, let me know what you think down below. I hope Rockstar rides this line well. Time will tell how far they're willing to go, and hopefully they don't go as far as they did with GTA Online at some points. Thanks for stopping by, and until next time, take care.